Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up the football guys. Wake up here, guys. Wake up. Wake up. What? Joe Boo, are you keeping them from waking up? There we go. They're awake. Happy game day morning. Now, I know the Cowboys don't play until tomorrow night. It's kind of cool. We can kick back, we can relax, we can watch, and we'll start live streaming today at 1 o'clock. The New York Giants versus the Washington. Yeah, those guys. We'll be watching that game, as well as the Eagles taking on the Ravens. And right now, of course, our division is bad. Our division is really, really bad. How bad is our division? We have teams out there that have more wins than our whole division combined. Two of the wins in our division actually happened in our division, as in the Washington team beating the Eagles and us beating the Giants. There's only two wins outside of the division for the division. And I don't think that there's going to be a win. Well, there'll be possibly a win in the division. Outside of the division, and I think there'll be a win inside the division between the Redskins and Giants, although it wouldn't surprise me if it ended up in a tie. Yeah, our division. Wow. So we'll be covering those guys. We'll see what the Philly 500 does on the exclusive Philly 500 meltdown cam. Although, in the loss last week to the Steelers, the Eagles' offense and Carson Wentz actually came to life. It may be that Carson Wentz is finally catching his groove. He does not have any weapons to throw to, so to speak of. So we'll see what happens with that situation. But, it is what it is. For our Cowboys, of course, tomorrow we have the Cardinal game. And it'll be the first game without Dak Prescott. Before I get on to that, David Irving. David Irving has been seeing the Raiders, and the Raiders seem interested in the shape that he's in and possibly signing him to a deal. So shout out to, David Irving for getting a job that quickly if he does indeed sign the contract with them. The Raiders, surprising a lot of people, are a lot better team than what people anticipated. The thing that kills me with our team, as I look around the NFL and I see how many former Dallas Cowboys defenders are doing well. Friday, I'm riding down the road and I'm listening to NFL radio. And they got an interview with Jeff Heath, and Jeff Heath had a major play last week for his team. And you look at how many players are on the Kansas City Chiefs on that defense. You look at a Byron Jones, they got a big deal to go. You look at players that are succeeding elsewhere that could not succeed here. And you have to look at it and say, was it the players or was it the systems? Because clearly you have guys who can play. But for whatever reason, we don't get it out in Dallas. And that should be worrisome from us. The other thing that you have to notice with the Cowboys, that's a great trend, is thinking that bringing other people in automatically is a fix for your problems. It's not the player is the problem. We're thinking that the player is the problem, when maybe it's the system, and continuing to bring in other players to replace players that you have that may be affordable isn't working. You have to look at it right now and say, Taco, who had some issues, but did a little bit of damage with Miami and is doing well with Kansas City, who right now is paid peanuts in comparison to what we paid a lot of different free agents to come in. Are you going to tell me that Emerson Griffin right now is playing better than Taco Charlton? Now, Emerson Griffin's deal was still relatively cheap in comparison, but not as cheap as Taco Charlton's. We had Clinton Dixon here. He couldn't make the team, We've had other guys in here, and we had Jeff Heath here. We weren't satisfied with Jeff Heath. We said Jeff Heath's not good enough. We'll do better, and yet we didn't. And of course, we look around and say, let's get Earl. How many times people said, let's get Earl? I said Eric Reed because I thought Eric Reed would be a better option, but he's been blackballed. So I think a lot of times that we always assume that it's the player that's messing up in Dallas, when maybe it's the system in Dallas that's failing the player. And we have to correct that, because you don't have an endless supply of players like an assembly line that you can just keep bringing in. Oh, well, this one doesn't fit right, we'll get rid of it. You have to be able to use the talent that's affronted to you, because you only have so much money and so many picks to help your team. And it's not a matter of not finding people that work. Right now, CeeDee Lamb is playing phenomenal. CeeDee Lamb is leading all rookies. He has over 400 yards receiving in his rookie year and is on pace to break the rookie receiving record. Now, we'll see if that changes with Andy Dalton. The team's philosophy may change some with Andy Dalton. They may get back to running the football, which ultimately I think is where we got too pass happy for our team. That it's not a winning formula to pass the ball 50 plus times every game. It's just not. You've never seen a team that's just blowing everybody away, throwing the ball 50 times a game. It's just not. As nice as it is, or as nice as it looked, seeing all these passes, seeing left and right, it's fun to watch, but it's more fun to get that victory. So I think we'll see a change of philosophy of the Cowboys. We'll have more on that before tomorrow night's game, and we'll start our live stream early. But I think that it's partially the system and the play, and not more so than the players being the issue. Because you don't see guys, if they were a bust from Jump Street, you wouldn't see them playing well elsewhere. And I think we get away from, and I know they tried this because they asked players, what do you feel comfortable with? I think the problem now for the Dallas Cowboys more than anything else is they haven't developed an identity on defense. That they've tried to be the jack of all trades. We don't be married to one defense. And the problem is you haven't mastered anything. And with the short window that we've had for an off season, there wasn't enough time to try and get 4-3, 3-4, and hybrid between, and everybody's lost. But what I do expect to see is improvement. And that starts with today, or actually started with last week. We saw some lights. We saw a turnover. We saw a sack. We saw D-Law coming live. We saw them moving them around to have advantageous situations. And hopefully we're able to continue that this week. So we'll have to wait and see until tomorrow night. Washington against the Giants. Boy, that's the battle for the basement. And how crazy is it? This is how crazy it is. How bad our division is. The fact that Washington could lose this game and be in the basement, or will be in the basement if they do. If Washington wins this game, they could end up being the division leader. I don't know that that's ever been heard of before by week 6 in the NFL. It's unfathomable. And the same doesn't hold true for the Giants. Giants will still be down there, but they're looking for the first victory. The Eagles, of course, they can end up getting in first place if we end up losing, if they get a victory, or they could be right where they are. It's just a mess in the NFC East. I'm hoping, who am I rooting for? Of course I'm rooting for the Ravens. Washington and Giants? That's just like rooting for Washington or the Giants is like, do I want a bullet to the head or a knife to the chest? Doesn't matter. Either one's going to kill me. It's going to kill me. But I guess I would say I'd rather see Cole Pizzle cry some more, and I'd like to see Burgundy and Gold happy. How about that one? But yeah, it's crazy. All right, y'all. I got to get ready for game day. I think Rashid will be coming over today to see his Giants play, and other than that, it's going to be kind of quiet. But we will be live streaming. I'm Mark Holmes, and welcome to Game Day.